Hey guys, Anime X Fitness here, bringing to you chapter 1001 of One Piece called Battle of Monsters on Onigashima. And we get some sick, straight fighting this chapter. And let's get started with the cover page. First, let's get to the cover page. We get a cover request of Jinbei on some jellyfish. Hopefully, I wonder when we get another story arc on the cover page, and I wonder what it's gonna be about. Anyway, we jump straight into the action with all the supernovas on the rooftop, and Kaido is looking not astonished. He's surprised that that attack hurt him, which he mentioned like only a handful of people can hurt him, and we'll get to that. We'll get to that. But we have all the other supernova mention that was that hockey. Like Zoro mentions that was the hockey that old man Hyogoro. Yeah, old man Hyogoro taught him. Well, he doesn't mention old man Hyogoro, but we know it's Hyogoro. Which kind of it's kind of odd that he doesn't know it. There was an instance way back before the time skip where he was doing something about cut. It was that arc where he had to cut the steel and he was feeling everything in his surroundings. That, but I would feel that since he's a swordsman, he would be able to learn Rio a little easier than the rest because of his armament hockey proficiency. But we'll have to see throughout the arc later on. And then something about Kid is I kind of wished here he said, well, he mentions that was that hockey that can damage Kaido. So he's surprised about it. I don't know if he knew about Rio. Well, Killer knows about Rio, right? So maybe he learned about it from the other samurais in Wano or from people in Wano. But I kind of wish he said that Kid said, "Oh, he can use it too," insinuating that I guess here and then in this he would have known it. But we have Kid saying he doesn't in this instance, and then Killer reinforces that, saying if he didn't know like at that advanced Rio hockey, we pretty much had no chance. Which says Killer doesn't know it either, but I don't expect much from Killer. I'd be pleasantly surprised if he shows that if he shows a lot more. I'd be very pleasantly surprised considering he's a supernova too. And then Law says, "Let me say one thing." We get to that. What is that? Okay, just something was distracting me in the corner of my eye. Let me say one thing, which we get to later on in the chapter. But that's their standing on Luffy showing Rio, which can hurt Kaido, and says a lot, I guess. Them, by not saying enough, says a lot. Does that make sense? Yeah, yeah, sure. We have Big Mom mentioning, do you have any idea what being king of the pirates even means? Which maybe Kaido and Big Mom know something that we don't about being king of the pirates, or maybe there's a different what's the word? There's a different uh, do, 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 there's a different oh, I lost the word. There's a different meaning. There you go. Wow, all for that. There's a different meaning to being king of the pirates. Like there's something you have to do, or there's something that goes with being king of the pirates, or maybe something in the the last island from the road poneglyphs to become king of the pirates. So Kaido's still dazed. He's like, "What happened to you? What happened when I destroyed you? When I broke you with that attack and sent you through to the prison mines?" But he mentions there's only a few people, a handful of people, and he literally shows only five, handful of people that can fight him, which surprises me because Big Mom's not in that flashback. Rocks makes sense because he was a captain, right? Rox's crew was made of captains. Rox was a captain, and it would make sense that since, well, I'm surprised he would have his durability back then, right? Even at like, I think the people were saying 19 years old is when he should have been like on Rox's crew, some young age like that. So I would be surprised that even at that age, well, no, he would just show that he had Ryu, right? He would defeat him and he would have Ryu anyways. So there's Whitebeard, which makes sense. Odin he fought, which he almost lost to, and Gold Roger, which makes complete sense. But oh, and Shanks, I forgot. So maybe there's more of that fight that they had in before reaching Marineford. But Big Mom's not there. Are there other people that know Rio? Like Hio, Old Man Hio knows Rio, but there's no way he can hurt Kaido. Uh, but he can't like see he can't survive an attack from Kaido. So I guess that would not fall in the category of being able to fight Kaido. Right. And then I love this part. Then you see just Kaido smirk and he just says, Straw Hat, Thunder Bagua! And he attacks again with another Thunder Bagua. And even though Luffy can see it with his future sight, he tries to react to it. And he's able to react to it, but not fast enough. So what good is future sight if he can't move fast enough to dodge any of the attacks? He was barely able to dodge it, which means Luffy should get faster this arc. He should be able to push himself even more. Or the best part is that he took the attack without even being in Gear 4th, which is great. Great progress. And it'll show that he should be even faster in Gear 4th. Hopefully we have to see some more next chapter of that. But he's surprised and Kaido compliments like, you're not going to get taken down by the same move twice. Good on you, Straw Hat. Luffy says even though he could see it, he can't dodge it, which with time, it's shown, right? He'll get some speed. But Big Mom, without hesitation, without even letting him react, attacks Luffy with Prometheus. And we get a nice moment of Zoro stepping in to save. Clutch moment, because who else would be able to deal with Big Mom's fire? And then Zeus on the other hand too. But he shows that he took Kinemon's Foxfire style and he was able to cut Prometheus here in half. Now I wonder how much damage and how much like prolonged damage Prometheus can take like this. Like Does Prometheus get smaller? And does he eventually phase out? Like, I can't fight anymore, I'm gonna disappear type of thing? Or does it cost Big Mom too much soul power, or soul energy, or souls to keep fighting with Prometheus? But yeah, Kinemon. Zoro says, I stole it. It was too good. Now, people keep clowning on Big Mom. So let me just mention that, the summons are never as strong as the user themselves. Like, just think of solo leveling or consider solo leveling. They're never as strong as Big Mom. So yes, even though her attacks with Prometheus and Zeus might not be as much, Big Mom herself is the strongest one. Yeah, they're her summons, but they're just like supplementary damage. And I would imagine Napoleon would be the strongest one because she wields him herself, which also goes to show that maybe we get to see some Zoro versus Big Mom action because of her wielding the sword. But he should jump back and fight Kaido too. I wonder how this whole two Yonko fighting each other dynamic's gonna go. And also, Zeus causes a problem, right? Because, well, for Luffy, he's rubber. The lightning's not going to affect him. Kid, I would imagine he just lightning rods and redirects the lightning somewhere else. Law, on the other hand, I don't know how he would handle Zeus. So I would imagine those two have a good chance to fight Big Mom. Yeah. Killer, I just remembered. Killer's here too. Wait a minute. Not a huge chance. But maybe Zoro can make a new Cloud Splitter move? Cloud Splitter? Yeah. But Then we have Kaido without hesitation also. Zufi. Luffy's dazed. He's just getting saved left and right by Law here, by Zoro. And Zoro mentions it right at this moment, like, you need to focus because this is two emperors. You cannot let your guard down or you're going to get taken out. And here, as he says that, he's literally about to get hit by Kaido. I hope Luffy gets his head in the game because he just keeps getting saved. And Law just... I love it. He rooms him closer to him and he says, Straw Hat, I was gonna save them and move them down there before you said anything. Just funny squabble between them. Why? Funny. And then Kid brings up, two losers joining each other's crew. It doesn't matter to me. You're both losers at the end of the day anyways. You'd both be losers in the same crew anyways. Big Mom just on the offensive. Big Mom just keep bringing out the blows. She says, Prometheus, attack them. And then, this part's hilarious. They bring this ridiculous game. Says, okay, whoever flinches is a loser. And they're like, no, I'm not going to play that silly game. That's why you're going to be a loser. And then they just stand there like, I'm not gonna flinch. I'm not gonna flinch. No. And then they all get hit by the same attack anyways. Their faces are so priceless. And you see Zoro freak out like, you morons. We're fighting two emperors here. And I love that Zoro just brings on his bandana he brings out the bandana for the serious fights. And then him and Killer are having a small little squabble also. Back and forth like, Zoro, if I had my blades, you wouldn't have even stood a chance. And Zoro's like, who are you kidding, bro? It would have come out the same anyways. Zoro's like, who are you kidding, dude? No. And then he brings out, Zoro and Killer attack Kaido at the same time. And Zoro brings out Onigiri, which is... named attack, and then Killer does a named attack too. And we see it just go into his skin. We see it go into Kaido's skin, but there's no cut. And I'm surprised, again, here. Kaido didn't mention anything by Enma. He didn't notice, either he didn't notice the Enma sword, or he might have just reinforced himself that it's not Odin. I would have loved a small little flashback or like a small moment where he says that's Odin's blade, and then he like reinforces and gets his composure back, and he says that's not Odin though, and he like doesn't cut him, so there's no moment of weakness like for Big Mom. But even then he says well done, like maybe like you're close. And Zoro says I have to bring out more of the sword's strength, which hopefully Zoro learns some Ryo, or he gets to cut Kaido in this next coming chapters, or through a lot of willpower he gets to do it. I think he might. But then all the supernovas start getting serious. All the captains bring out their forms. Well, Kid and Luffy bring out their forms, and then Law just goes room. I love him. I love it. But like he brings out a sick move here. But we see Kid with his Punk Rodden, and I'm guessing Punk Rodden is a form like Gear 4th. So every time he says Punk Rodden and then he does an attack, it's like a version. Like he brought out the hand versus Apu. That's like the hand of this form. But then you see, I love the Kid's suit, the mech suit that's floating in the air. You see Luffy in Gear 4, and then you see Law kneeling in the corner like, but he does a sick maneuver. So everybody attacks. Luffy does Konga, not even King Konga. I wonder how much damage that move did. Is that imbued with Ryo? Can't really, like, we don't see any damage. Like, we don't see anything inside or happening behind him or anything. The only thing with Kid's attack is Punk Vice. Can't Kaido just flex and then be like, that didn't really do anything without Ryo? But Law uses tact. And I don't remember if he's used tact. I feel like we've seen him use tact before. But we have kind of like, oh, oh, that's a lot of strength right there. They're all he mentions they're all monsters in their own right. They're all strong in their own right, but I'm stronger. But yeah, in the last few panels we have reaching the conclusion of the chapter. Kaido getting back up through. I don't know if he went through the roof, but he's coming back up in his dragon form. We have Kaido and Big Mom in the sky now, and Kaido's mentioning, well, you almost leave me no choice, but I'm gonna have to kill you since I couldn't get Kid to be in my crew. I couldn't break Luffy either, which gives me an idea that if Luffy and Kid, no, yeah, Luffy and Kid get defeated, if they lose, would Kaido tell Law, join my crew? Would Law deny that? Since his goal now, I don't know if it's to become Pirate King, but he mentioned his goal is to find out more about the D-Clan. And he could still do that in Kaido's crew, right? I wouldn't think he would deny that opportunity anyways. He wouldn't die in this. He wouldn't, what's it called? He wouldn't willingly just say no. I feel like he would join the crew and maybe work on the inside. But I can't. So well, since he said that, I can't imagine Luffy and Kid losing now without somehow getting away. Right? But anyway, after that whole tangent's over, they're mentioning they're gonna kill their friends, kill everybody that's with them, and whoever defeats the other, whoever becomes victorious here, is gonna get all the poneglyphs and be one step closer to being Pirate King. Well, you're gonna be the closest person to being Pirate King now, actually, since they all have a poneglyph, right? Luffy has Zoe's poneglyph, Big Mom's poneglyph, and he would get Kaido's poneglyph, and then they're missing the last road poneglyph to be able to go to the last island. Roadstar? Right? So whoever gets to win here is the closest to being Pirate King. Now, that's a lot. So that's the end of the chapter, guys. That is chapter 1001. Predictions for the next chapter. Well, discussions for this is an amazing. I really enjoyed this chapter. On a rating, man, I can't even rate these. I love all these chapters that have been coming out so far. Let's say 8 out of 10. I think it was a really good chapter. Strictly fighting. For the next chapter, I believe that it's going to pan out and be very straightforward chapters from here on out. We should have maybe an assumption would be all the Straw Hats. You get a little tangent, like 3 panels, everybody in their own fight. It would just be so many chapters that I feel like Oda would have to dedicate. But maybe it's fine. Oda's going to make a chapter focusing on the Straw Hats, all the other Straw Hats, their individual fights. I'd love to see Frankie try and learn, I would love to see Frankie learn some armament hockey here with his fight with Triceratops guy. I can't remember his name right now. Nami and Usopp doing something versus their own respective fight with Ulti and Page 1. I want to see Jinbei. I want to see what Sanji doing, Robin Brook, all of them, and Chopper. I want to see Marco. What's Marco doing with the Calamities? Is he still 2v1ing? That would be immense for his character to be 2v1ing the 2 Calamities. And I just want, and then maybe the last 3 pages you have of Kaido versus the Supernovas on the roof again. Maybe we see some progression. Maybe we see it kind of like they're taking hits. They're really messed up now in the next 3 pages. And then the last page, I want a surprise here. Maybe it's a surprise. Maybe it's just a regular ending with Yamato saying something. But I want a surprise. I want to see something happen. Blackbeard coming in. Maybe in the distance you see a ship, and we have to assume who. You know, that'd be awesome. If it's a ship and we don't know whose ship it is. It could be a marine ship. It could be Blackbeard's ship. It could be Aokiji. Surprise me, Oda. But yeah, that's the end of the chapter. That's the end of my review. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please leave me any comments, any likes, and thanks for watching, guys. Take care.